Uplift the lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio.
And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Stranded, lost, just caught in a daze. Blinded, an outcast, life passed on you away. Broken, defeated, you can't seem to win. So you cry out, holy, because you need a friend. Stop crying, crying, he'll be there through the night. Stop denying.
What's going on, my good people? This is Charles McCutchen, your favorite entrepreneur. Welcome to Charles's Corner. Today, everything I'm doing right now is going into 2020, and I'm going to speak on some credit. And I know that a lot of people, we have a lot of different credit issues out there. So I'm going to give you my insight, my take on what I do, what I've done, who I've helped, and things of that nature, and some things out there that a lot of people don't even pay attention to. I'd like to first welcome you to Charles's Corner. Those who don't know me, my name is Charles McCutchen. I'm a best-selling author. You can find me all over social media. Get in touch with me if you want some information, some content, or someone I can give you to make your 2020 a success. It's all about getting ready for 2020, setting everything, keeping our foot on the gas, and moving. A lot of people have taken their foot off the gas, and I understand. Everybody want to hang out and chill and relax because they worked a little bit during this year. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go through steps in no particular order. It's just things that I'm thinking about, things that I've done already. So there are millions and millions and millions of errors on consumer credit reports. So I'm talking about your personal credit. So I'm going to try to keep my personal feelings out of it, but, there's some good and bad as far as credit is concerned. So when we're looking at credit, we're looking at things that are on your credit report that are inaccurate, things that you may not have done, or things that the credit folks that you got your stuff from, they just have it wrong. And maybe it's not yours. Maybe the balance is too high. Little bitty things. Maybe it's a closed account and it's open and it's really closed. Maybe the date of your last activity is incorrect. So there's a lot of different factors that can help you in this endeavor, and what I'm going to do is my disclaimer is say I'm not giving y'all any legal advice. That's not what I do. I don't hold any degrees in law and everything like that. Well, I do hold a degree in law, criminal justice. But anyway, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't even play one on TV. So what I want you to do is go get, the best law advice or legal advice you can get. This is just information. This is purely information that I'm giving you. And these are different things that you can do, like starting today, and go out there and be great. And so we look at, one of the things I say is a lot of inaccuracies on credit reports. Then there's incomplete information on credit reports, like fields are blank. You have false numbers or letters added. And if you look on there, your name is one of them. My name, I had 5 different ways they was spelling my name and putting different letters in, and all that can be taken care of, and you have to, submit the paperwork and stuff like that. And then the other part is, the big part is a lot of these debt collectors. So we get all these debt collectors to call, and I used to just not pick up the phone, and then I just got to a point. I said, okay, I'm tired. Let me just pick up the phone. I'll talk to anybody. It doesn't matter to me, and we're going to have a conversation. And they always hit you with the, well, are you going to be using Visa or MasterCard today? And then, I play around because it is what it is. This is just me. I'm not saying you should do this, but this is what I do. So I ask them, if you want to use Visa or MasterCard, will you tell me? Because I don't have no money. So we're going to obviously have to use your Visa or your MasterCard. So you go ahead and attach that to my account and help me to pay it since you think I have the money that I'm going to pay. Just being honest with them, if you don't have it, you don't have it. It is what it is. But what I don't like to do on the phone, I don't, when they called up, you just don't say, don't verify who you are. It'd be like, I like to verify I'm speaking to Charles. I'm like, well, may I ask who's calling? I always say that. And they'd be like, well, if I could verify who I was speaking to, I can tell you the reason I'm calling. I said, well, how about you just send it to me in correspondence? That's what I tell everybody. I don't even give them an opportunity to get my address. Obviously, they may or may not know me from somewhere. And the other thing that I do, this is just me. Now, I'm not telling you to do this. This is what I do, and this is just my personal. So another thing that I do is when they used to call, what I would do is if it was a third party calling me and I didn't know who that third party was, but I'm gonna give y'all an example. So say like you didn't pay your Cox internet bill or your Cox bill or something like that, right? And Cox sold it to a third party, and that's what happens all the time. Let's say you have a bill of, let's say $1,000. I'm just using a round number, and hopefully you don't have an internet bill of $1,000. But you have a bill of $1,000. What this third-party company will come in is they'll pay 10 cents for every dollar. So let's say they got your whole debt of $1,000 for $100, and so they call you up on behalf of Cox Cable or Cox Internet, and I'd be like, well, let's just say it's ABC Company. They hit you up and they be like, well, this is ABC Company calling on behalf of Cox Cable, and then I'll say, well, who are you looking for? I just go off like that, and I never say my name or anything like that, but then they'll try to go in and tell me what they're doing, and I say, and I remember one time, once or twice, I will say that, my name is Charles. Hey, yeah, this is Charles. And then we'll get a conversation going. And I'll be like, well, I'm sorry, I don't know who this is. I don't know who ABC Company is. I've never done any business with them. Can you send me correspondence? So what a lot of people do on the phone is they try to negotiate on the phone. And those calls are being recorded, y'all. They can use that in court against you. That's why I don't go through with all that being on the phone and trying to talk and hash it out stuff. Just get the correspondence, let them send you an email, not an email, but have them mail you the letters, because mailed letters are always good, and you can kind of get to the bottom of whatever it is. And sometimes you don't know who that company is, and you don't know if they're playing fair. So those companies should be verifying who they are. I got a laundry list of questions that you should be asking these particular companies to make sure that they, within the law, can come after you. Because you may have a company in California that is coming after somebody in New York, and they don't have the legal right to come after that person. But if you're on the phone with them and you telling them you're gonna pay them, obviously they're gonna take the money. And so it's so many different ways of how to do it. But I'm more of a send it to me, and then what they try to do is keep you on the phone. So all you can do is be like, okay, great. Well, you have a great time. Thank you for calling, and then they try to talk over you. So what you do is keep talking, and because you're closing that phone call out. And that's what you have to do. A lot of people want to stay on the phone and not be rude, but you just have to be like, okay, well, I don't even know who your company is, and you say you're after a person named Charles, or you say you're after me if you already gave me your name. Well, how about you just send me correspondence, and then when I get the correspondence, I'll look at it at that point in time. I do want to thank you for calling, and then you hang up. That's just how you do it. So there's a thing out there that credit bureaus must obey, and it's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. And according to the FCRA, an item on the report must be removed if they can show that the data is wrong. And that could be, truthfully, it's like this. If you have a wrong name, if they have the wrong price, the wrong balance, the wrong date, all this stuff that's supposed to be wrong, by law, those credit bureaus are supposed to come in and delete that stuff. So these are some credit violations that I see out there. If they call you before 8 a.m., or if they call you after 9 p.m., that's a credit violation. If they contact a third party, such as employer or friend, and they try to get any other information out of them, like telling your business to them, that's a credit violation. If they lie about how much you owe, let's say you only owe that $1,000, but now they got it at $5,000, that's a violation. If they threaten to garnish or sell your property, they can't do that. I'm telling you, there's some companies out there that go to the extreme to try to get you to pay that money. If they give false credit information to a credit company on your behalf, that's not good as well. So it's a lot of different things that are out there that need to be. We just need to do the right steps and take it upon ourselves to look at our own credit information. But this is what I see, family. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. A lot of y'all won't do it. I don't know. A lot of y'all just wait. A lot of y'all waiting on 1 January to be great. You could actually do it now. You can start pulling your credit reports together and start going through them with the fine-tooth comb to figure out what's going on. So the first step in anything you do, I'm going to start adding something to this first step as well, because I'm finding out there's a lot of information on the LexisNexis report. So I'm telling people, pull your LexisNexis report, pull your 3 credit reports from the credit bureau. And there's a lot of different companies out there that saying we're the best, we can do X, Y, Z. It's so much out there, y'all. But we're going to go with the top 3: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Those are the top 3. A lot of people using these. There's other sources out there, but I know a lot of people use Credit Karma. Credit Karma provides like 2 scores, and they report at no cost. But what they do is throw a lot of advertisements your way. And then there's one, I use this one, Credit Check Total. They provide all 3 credit reports and scores, but it's owned by Experian. So some of these are biased because they're owned by a specific company. Then there's MyFICO. They provide the 3 credit reports and scores, but that's expensive if you want to try to keep that. Then there's like Annual Credit Report, and they give you all 3 credit reports for free. It's only once a year, but no scores are given. They give you the report, but no scores. So you got to understand that. And I do see a lot of people, they have so many different scores, only because you have 3 different companies. And some companies that you may purchase from, they may not report the way you think they should be reported. And so that's why you may have a 720, and then you have a 637 and a 705. And you're like, and what companies that do, they may take the middle score and say, well, if you got a 720, 705, and 637, we're going to take the middle score. And then they try to see if that's how you look at see if you can get funded or anything. The other thing you have to do, when you get your credit reports, you have to analyze them. You got to look at them. You got to see what's on public records, what's derogatory, what's like under the unsatisfactory accounts. So all these are bad, and then it's in order. First, you look at the public records. Public records, they're the worst. That's bankruptcies, tax liens, judgments, other public records that anybody can see. Typically, when you have a public record, you can get letters from lawyers. They promise to help you, and they purchase information from these credit bureaus in order to try to sell you some of their services. I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying that's just what happens. Some are going to try to scare you. Some creative firms out there will try to send you letters that are handwritten. I'm just telling you, these people are just trying to get at you because they want for you to give them $10,000 and they can clear out the bankruptcy or what have you. It's not that serious. And this is just from people that I know that's in the industry that are experts. I will say this, family, don't be too concerned because you have a low credit score, because you have a bankruptcy, because you have a foreclosure, because you have a repossession. Credit scores can be changed. All is not lost. I used to be crazy over this credit score stuff, like literally watching probably every hour on the hour to see if my stuff is going to change, and I had to get out of that. I really did. So derogatory accounts are usually accounts that have been referred to a collection agency, and it's just a hassle, I guess, for a lot of people, and I get it. Been there, done that. All they care about is money. To be honest, they want to negotiate. They will try to promise you stuff, and to, like, we'll remove off your thing and they'll promise you they're going to do it, but they don't do it. So everything to me is documentation and anything that can be proven in court. They will take your money. They will take your money. If they purchase your debt from somebody for pennies on a dollar, and they're trying to get that money back, then they'll disappear. Trust me on that one. That's what happens. They're going to tell you exactly how they're going to help you and do all this great stuff. But if you send them money, that money is gone, and they don't have to do it that they said they were going to do for you. Just being honest. Then you have unsatisfactory accounts. Those are the late payments, and you have anywhere from 30 days to 180 days late payments, and then it's starting to get referred to a collection agency. The best thing you can do is probably reach out to those folks before you get to the collection agency and work out some type of payment plan. Something is better than nothing. That's just my take on it. Everybody's gonna do their own thing and how they want to do it. So that's just my take. But those are the like public records is number one. So this is what it gets so confusing with credit because there have so many different scoring models out there. I don't even know how many models there are. I truly don't, but I know there's a lot. And I'm not going to go through all those, but there's just too many for me. I used to think scoring models was like FICO scores was like 350 to 850. Now I'm hearing that they're 300. All I know is on average, we're less than 700 across the board, across the United States. So it's all about finding out ways to fix your credit. And we know, some of the things that they look at, amounts owed. They look at your payment history. They look at your credit length history, the new credit, your credit mix. They look at those different items to kind of give you this. It's an algorithm. It's a doggone computer, and it says, well, we're going to give you a 654 based off the information that you just gave. And that's just what it is. There's so many other various models out there of FICO, and it definitely gets complicated. So we have Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. They all have different scores. They each have their own version of FICO and other models out there. There's probably about 19-plus different scoring versions out there. All this stuff happened in 1989 when FICO was first introduced, and they had a scale from 3 to 850. So it's just information. There was a FICO 98, a FICO 4, a FICO 8. And then a FICO 08. They have so many different, they got a FICO score 9, all these different things. And that's why we're so confused on what we should be doing. And, we just don't understand how to leverage our scores. I see people, I just talked to this guy today. He's got an 8-something credit score, and he's excited about it. I said, so what are you going to do with it? You got 800. Now what? Well, I just got 800. Well, it doesn't make any difference if you have 800 and you don't know what to do with it. You might as well have a 300. That's just in my book. If you don't understand how to leverage your scores to get money for like less than nothing or pennies on the dollar, it doesn't make a difference for you to have a high score. That's just me. I mean, if that's all you want to do is you didn't buy a house, okay. Last time you bought a house was 10 years ago, so you're not using your score to do that. You're not using your score to buy a car. So what are you using your score for? Or is it just sitting there looking pretty as some people would have it? So I'm just giving y'all information on what I think about. So one thing we have to do is remove those inquiries. I know these inquiries stay on our credit reports like 2 years. And a lot of people don't really understand that it can actually lower your credit score, and you can be denied funding, even if you got an 830 credit score, because you think that, just because you got an 830, you have all these doggone inquiries that's sitting on there, and you try to put in for some funding with a company that says, well, you can't have no more than 7 inquiries, and you got 10. So you just wasted your time, and all they did was hit your credit score again. So there's laws that's on our side when dealing with these creditors, these collections agencies, and these credit bureaus. There's laws that we can use, but a lot of people don't understand why the laws are out there. And like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving y'all any type of legal advice, but I know there's a Fair Debt Collection Practices Act out there. And it really explains the rules and laws that collections agencies are required to abide by. And a lot of people, we don't even know that, these things out there. Then there's a Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. And it explains the rules and laws that credit bureaus and credit banks have to abide by. And that's when you come into in 30 days, if you don't delete this, I can actually come out and sue you. So you have to know, what you're talking about and know what letters and what to say in those letters. This is the sad thing, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all this, and I know a lot of people may not may or may not know. When we send in these disputes, what's happening is it's not even getting looked at by a human. When you send those disputes in, a computer scans it, and it provides a number to the people, and then they kind of look at that and kind of dictate whether they're going to do something or not with the information that was provided, just because the computer scans your document to see what words will pop up. If you don't have the right words to make the right words pop up so they can delete what you have on the paperwork you sent in, then what are you doing? So all you're going to do is get the letter back when nobody looked at it, and the computer's going to say, well, being that we looked at your information, we deemed that this is valid, so you got to keep it on your credit report. It's crazy how that works. A lot of people don't have a clue. I know some collections agencies, they try to go in hard. They try to bombard you with information. They try to use big words. They try to act like they're mad at you, and they have the good guy, the bad guy come on the phone. They do all of that. So there's a Section 80. I'm not going to get into all that. I will say this. They have a 30-day calendar. They have 30 calendar days to actually delete what they're supposed to delete on your credit report, and then they have to post it on your credit report, and it's supposed to say these words: customer has disputed the validity of this item. That they almost never put that sentence on, or they wait, over the 30-day period. So if they do it even within 60 days, that's still not good enough. You can actually send a letter to them to state that, hey, this is what happened because I have the documentation that says you were exactly 31 days late on providing me information. You would then have proof that they didn't mark the item as disputed within the 30 calendar days, and they can actually be liable for damages of up to $1,000 per occurrence, per thing you put in. So that's giving you leverage right there. So you got to start the process, and you'll be asking these collection agencies some questions, and you're requesting specific information from them. And the sad part is this, and like I said, this is not legal advice. The thing is, let's say you do have a valid debt out there, and the valid debt saying you owe $10,000. But when you look at the debt, you're like, hold on, how would I owe $15,000? The debt, there's inaccurate information on my credit report. So it's not up to you to validate it. It's up to you to send it in and say, hey, we have inaccurate information on my credit report. You're saying that my debt is $15,000. I need this to be fixed, but it's specific words that you need to say. And if they don't have the right information for you, family, I'm just going to tell you, as the Fair Credit Reporting Act states, and you need to read it for yourself so you can get some do your due diligence. Please don't take anything I'm saying for gospel. Please read it for yourself. It states that if that information is inaccurate, then they must delete it. I'm just looking at the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So all I'm telling people to do is follow the law. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal. I'm telling you to follow the law to the letter, literally to the letter. Follow the law. That's basically all I can give you. So there's letters for dealing with these creditors. There's verbiage. There's everything out there we already have at our disposal, but we don't know how to use it, and we don't use it the right way. So what I will say to you, we have less than a month. What is this? November, December? I don't even keep up. All I know is we into the new year. We're into the new year, family. This is it. So you can start working on it now. So by 2020, it takes approximately 30 days to get a response, and then you may have to send something back and go back and forth, sending everything via certified mail, sending proof that, of who you are and things like that. But it's a lot of tracking that goes on. And what I'm finding out is a lot of people don't want to do it. I mean, that's just it. It's not hard, but a lot of people don't want to do it, and a lot of people don't even want to pay anybody to do it. I personally, this is just me. This is not any legal advice. I got to keep putting that out there because this is some sticky stuff right here. I'll say, if you're going to pay somebody, for me, what I would do is pay somebody a one-time payment if I could. I don't like making $100 a month payment for something that may take 9, 10 months, 11 months, 12. That's just not the move. So I will say find a company that you can pay one time a one-time fee and let them handle your business if they're credible. Make sure that they're credible because everybody's into. It's like the new thing to do now is do people's credit. You got people. Let me see. I'm gonna put this. I started credit way before the bubble busted, before even '08 happened. I was doing credit back in like the late '90s, and I was doing my own credit because I had to figure it out. And I started helping everybody else with their credit, and then I created a credit company back then. And I understood how all I did was read. That's all I did. I was reading. I was sending information in, sending in letters and stuff. That was the boring part of that. I don't want to do that stuff. Then waiting 30 to 45 days for information to come back and then doing it again. That's how I was fixing people's credit. And they was, getting stuff off. Credit was going up. And, I started my company. So these are some of the things. If they're wrong, I'm going to use that same scenario real quick. If you have $10,000 out there and they come back and they tell you it's $20,000, that's just one item that can be wrong. That if they don't give you, they're supposed to be able to give you the correct information. It's not for you, it's for them. So you can have an incorrect balance. You can have missing information. You can have an incorrect credit limit. You can have your high balance is lower than your old amount balance. Your status is incorrect. You can have the date of the last activity is incorrect. You can have the date of the last update being incorrect. You can have the date reported being incorrect. It's just so many different things that you can go through to where you can challenge them and they have to prove, like in court, prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is your debt. It's not on you, it's on them. So the first thing would be to get your credit report, and then you got to look through it. But there's so much content online. Even if you got with me, I got some stuff out there as well. Find some information. That's all I can tell you, the best I can tell you. Find some information. Make sure it's the right information. Make sure the people are credible. It don't take no year to get credit back. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have right now. I don't care if you had a 300. You can still come up from a 300 and make moves. You definitely can do it. It's going to take you putting time in, though, or you paying somebody to understand what they're doing. So I hope that kind of summed up some things. I just want people to get up off their derrieres and move and make something happen. All right? So I'm going to pray us out real quick. I do want to say thank you to Miss Kimmy Robinson for doing everything she's doing. And, sometimes you got to sit back and take a break, Miss Kim. It's okay, because I do that as well. And then I sit back and assess the situation, and then I go back in. So we all need that. That's called the rest and relaxation type of stuff. So, dear Heavenly Father, I pray to you right now to bless everyone as they're going through trying times. I pray for everybody's strength and everybody's empowerment. I know people feel like everything is not coming together fast enough. I know frustration sets in, and most people tend to believe that nothing's going to get better. Dear Father, let everybody know that everything happens in your time, and I know you'll provide the strength that we need, and I know that everything comes in your time, and your time is the right time. Father God, you're all-knowing, and we must believe and trust in you. We get weak, but we must continue to have faith in trying times. Ensure that we manifest the destiny and the glory that you set forth in our life, Father God. Ensure that we use up the territory you've given us, dear Lord. I pray for everybody to gain more strength, for everybody to have more wisdom. And I want y'all to know one thing, as you all should know, that joy comes in the morning. In your name I pray. This is Charles McCutchen on Charles's Corner. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I'm at charlesmspeaks@yahoo.com, all over social media. Get in touch with me because 2020 is going to be a breeze. Y'all take it easy.
Wanna share my soul,
This is for men, this is Ali. This is for men, cause it's God breathed. Yeah, the Holy Spirit, hope you hear it. Things look clearer when you look in the mirror. Walking down the valley cause he led me. Fed me from the pages with the red ink. Translated for my boys with the rock ready. Heat under the seat, inside the box Chevy. Listen man, I was asleep, I was dead. Been transformed, I'm a the bed. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much soul.
I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So
you got
soul.
We got
I finished breakfast, now back to the message. Let's take it way back to my mama's Lexus. In 96, I let it knock just for the beat. It was a beat, tan brown with butter seats. I'm far from my hermit, drive with just a permit. 15 and swerving, all I got to learn is a little big and pop. Say would teach. I played Marvin Gaye through the Maywood Street. What's going on is not a secret of mine. The good Lord said if you seek, you would find. Fast forward years, I'm the preacher in line with rhymes that can speak to the time. I got soul. He gave me so much soul.
He gave me too much soul.
I'm just a king with a dream. So it seems on the Lord I'ma lean. So
You got
soul.
We got
And the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground. And he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became, what it become, man? A living soul. That's right. Yeah. But Lord Sweat call that summer me. I'm fly man, winter, fall, summer, spring. Young boy call me old school. They say I'm so cool and I'm no fool. They like the perspective I seem to bring. I guess that's how it is when you sing some things. Cause I've been high, atop of 10 terraces. I've seen men die, seen men perish. Still never losing focus, of course. My eyes on the throne, my hopes in the Lord. He gives keys that can open the door. And he's about to open it more. I got